Without selling, for over 11 years now, I've been building residual money in a home business. And here's how I do it. And I'm sharing this with you to invite you to do it with me and my team. So literally, it's just two things that I mainly do every day. One of those two things is inviting people to look at it to get the information to see if it's something that would speak to their interests, if they'd want to do it with us. And that invitation without selling is literally something like this in different variations. It's, hey, I got my coach to make a video about our online health and fitness business. Would you like to look at it to see if it speaks to your passions, to see if you'd want to do it with us? And I typically get either one of two responses from something like that. It's either, sure, Tom, I'll check it out. And then I'll send it to them and they can look at it and see if they want to do it. Or they'll say, no, thanks, Tom, but thank you for thinking of me. So as far as rejection goes, that's a pretty cool way for somebody to not be interested or not want to look at it. They say, thanks for thinking of me. And then we go on as friends as usual. So that's pretty neat because there's not a selling thing involved. There's not a persuasion or a manipulation or a bait and switch or any of that stuff. There's really no selling. So that's one way that I do it. And when I first got started to get to that first milestone, that, the big milestone of I want to replace like my job income or a regular job income with residual income. So it took me 2.5 years to do that. Some people do it quicker, some people it takes longer. That time is going to pass by anyway. But to get to that point, I would give myself the task of I would invite people in that manner, at least a minimum of 20 every day, which took about 5 minutes or less. And some days I do as much as 60 or 70 in the course of a single day, which is one-on-one to people on Facebook or other social media. For me, it was typically Facebook. And that only takes a few minutes at a time. So it doesn't take a lot of time at all. And that's all taught in my team too. So it's pretty easy to do it that way. Just have to be consistent on a daily basis. These days, I give myself, because it's fun, I want to do at least 5 a day. And some days I just want to go all balls out and I'll do a lot in the course of a day. But it's really fun. And if you haven't seen my invitation, if I haven't invited you yet one-on-one, just give it time. Probably just a matter of time. I just haven't randomly gotten to your page to throw that at you to see if you'd be interested. Okay, so the second way that I do it is I talk about things that I like talking about, and it doesn't even have to be health and fitness related. For example, scroll up and down my timeline, and you're going to see things that I'm into. You're going to see that I love my family. You're going to see that I am into health and wellness, and I have a particular interest in food and good food that tastes good, that is also medicinally healing. You'll see that I like travel. You'll see that I like all kinds of different beautiful art. And you'll see that I'm consciously aware of how I'm philosophically driven. And whatever I'm interested in, you'll see by scrolling up and down my timeline. So I show everyone that gets into this with me that you too, think about yourself. Do an audit of what your interests are, what you love talking about, what your passions are, what you want to learn more about. And it doesn't even have to be health and fitness, even though it's a health and fitness business. But you'll be talking about and learning more about whatever your interests are and your passions are, and sharing that on social media on your timeline. And then that just, over time, you build an audience, and people are going to listen to you and be inspired by you. And some people are going to want to do what you're doing, and they'll start the conversation with you because of how you share your interests on your timeline in social media. So that's the second way of doing it. So the first way is you send out invitations to people. Hey, I got a online health and fitness business. My coach made a video. Would you like to look at it to see if it speaks to your passion, to see if you'd like to do it with us too? And they'll either say, most of the time, they'll either say, no thanks, but thanks for thinking of me. All right, cool. Or they'll say, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And you send it to them and you let them do what they want to do. So there's nothing forced. It's all organic. It's natural. Whether they get in or they don't get in, it's organic and natural. Just like you watching this video, it's going to be organic or natural that you're not going to contact me about it, or that you are going to contact me about it and ask me to see it. And from there, it'll continue to be a natural, organic, unforced thing. So that's the premise of all of it. Whether you start the conversation with somebody by saying, hey, I got a health and fitness business, would you like to see some info about it to see if it speaks to your passions, if you'd like to do this? Or if it's just through stuff you like talking about, content you put out there on social media that inspires somebody to come to you and start the conversation with you, asking you about it. Either way, it's those are the two things that I generally do on a daily basis since I started and learned about these things over 11 years ago. And it's organic and natural and unforced, and you don't really have to sell anybody anything or try to twist somebody's arm or bait and switch or manipulate or any of that kind of stuff. So it's a beautiful way to build residual income, and it can be done in just a couple minutes or so at a time. In fact, there's one training I wrote that's literally called 5-Minute Potty Break Trainer, and that came about because there's a lady in my profession. She was able to do it at her job on her bathroom breaks. That's the only time she had during the day. She had a family at home, kids, she had a full-time job. I think she had a couple jobs. So she literally had no time to do something like this. She got her smartphone. She didn't even use a computer, just her smartphone. Like all of us have a smartphone now. Whipped that out on her bathroom breaks 2 or 3 minutes at a time, or 5 minutes at a time. And it was like a year or so into it, she's like, wow, I don't need a job anymore. So she left one of her jobs, opened up more time to spend with her family and other things that's more important to her, because she did it in little bitty increments at a time. It's just the consistency on a day-to-day basis, and an eagerness to learn something new beyond what you already know, to learn something new and expand your mind. And having a life of freedom starts with a freedom of the mind, so that you're eager to learn and you become open to opportunities like this. So reach out to me, and if you want to see this video that I got my coach to make a video, great information in it, very informative and even emotionally inspiring. She did a great job in this video. So if you want to see it about our online health and fitness business, to see if it speaks to your passions to make residual money so that you can buy your life back, buy your time back, and spend time how you want to, at some point emerge at some point in the future, being able to get your time back so you can spend your time how you want and do what you want with this singular dash date that you get between your birth date and your death date. There's just one dash between those two dates. To own that dash and to do what you want with that dash, that's what it all boils down to with the residual income and building this. At some future point, you can emerge there, and that time is going to pass by anyway. So at that future point, let's be glad you did instead of regretful that you didn't. So just ask me for that video. I'll send it to you happily. And from there, it's your decision if you want to do this, join our team and do this with us or not. Totally your decision. And can't wait to see the mystery of who you are that's going to reach out and ask me for the video. Can't wait to see who that is. It's the mystery of these videos. I have no idea who's going to reach out to me, so let's find out. And I look forward to it, okay? So feel free to share this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Mwah.